Welcome to Fortress of Faith with Tom Wallace, calling North America to repentance and revival.
Welcome back to the Corner of Truth and Courage. You're listening to Fortress of Faith. This is Tom Wallace. Now, for over a decade, I have been warning Christians that America is lining up for judgment from God because of our national sins. Sins that we have embraced as a nation, turning our backs on the righteousness that once made us great. Let me introduce myself to those who are not familiar with me or this broadcast. I grew up overseas in missionary work. My folks were missionaries. I returned back to the States for a short spell for Bible college, fell in love, got married, and my wife and I, we returned to the mission field. I spent a total of 29 years overseas while involved in church planning, largely in the United Kingdom, a nation that's not too different from us here in America. I witnessed firsthand the growth of Islam. I remember as a kid, they only inhabited a couple blocks. When I went back as an adult, they covered 2 square miles. The growth was big. I saw how they used, though, the hospitality of the West and their laws for their advantage to gain a foothold through slow, methodical cultural jihad, through immigration, through high birth rates, and now intimidation. It's pretty bad over there now. The stealing away of freedoms and culture to replace it inch by inch by Sharia. It's real, folks, and it's happening here in America. Islam caught my attention first, and that's largely why I returned back to America to warn my fellow citizens of the deception, the nature of Islam, and their goal to destroy us from within. Folks, again, it's real. It really is. We better wake up. But then I started noticing something even closer to home. The stranglehold that 50 years of Marxist teachings in our colleges and high schools has placed a stranglehold and a spell on our young people, deceiving them with the ideas that socialism is a great idea. There's a lot of reports coming out that young people, a large percentage of young people, believe that socialism is a good thing. Now, we were warned about this. Skousen, who wrote The Naked Communist, the 45 stated goals of the communists, exposed that. It was read into the congressional record back in January 10, 1963, and exposed the goals of communism to gain control of our schools and a major political party. I believe I can say without any fear of contradiction or anyone challenging me with any evidence that what I'm saying is untrue, that the Marxists, that the communists have gained control of the Democratic Party and our school system, and they've been wildly successful in advancing their goals to destroy America. So we've got a storm coming at us on 2 fronts. We've got the Islamic jihadists, those that come in wearing suits. We don't see them as jihadis. And then we also have the destructive teachings of Marxism and the spell of socialism, creating the destruction of our country. We're in big danger today because of what the Democrats have done. The Democrats have opened up our borders to enemies. In December 2025, remember, in Washington, D.C., the Director of National Counterterrorism, Senator Joseph Kent, he testified before the House Homeland Security Committee. He revealed that his agency, now get this, listen, this is important. His agency has identified approximately 18,000 known or suspected terrorists. Not 18, not 1,800, 18,000. We're talking to the thousands here, almost 20,000. These individuals that have ties with jihadist groups like ISIS or Al-Qaeda, and they were allowed into our country and released during the Biden years, between 2021 and 2025. Folks, this is unbelievable. I mean, these aren't the gotaways. These are the ones that we know them. We fingerprinted them and we let them in. Director Kent said that the Biden administration not only let them in many cases, but facilitated their entry. Of these 18,000, 2,000 of them came from Afghanistan through the Operation Allies Welcome. That chaotic evacuation that we saw, witnessed, it was terrible. But through them, we brought, of these 18,000, 2,000 are there that we didn't vet. And now that we have done some investigation, we find out that these guys are tied to ISIS. And that's why we had the shooting with Ramallah Lakenwell, who ambushed 2 of our National Guardsmen, killed 1, wounded the other. This is on their hands. The remaining 16,000 entered through other channels, like mainly the southern border and parole programs. Now, Kent emphasized that this is a major national security threat. And it doesn't even include the 2 million gotaways, these migrants who evaded detection entirely, who paid extra to be brought in through the cartels, to be brought into America and not be discovered. We see them on camera, but we have no idea who they are. Cesar Tom Homan, who appeared recently on the CBS Face the Nation, put it bluntly. He said, "We got over 2 million known gotaways. We know 2 million people crossed the border. They weren't arrested. They weren't vetted. They weren't fingerprinted. So you got to ask yourself, why did 2 million people pay more to evade capture? Why did they not turn themselves in for free flight, hotels, meals, and medical care? I mean, it goes to reason these people wanted to be hidden. We know of 18,000 that came in that have ties. We've been able to identify that. What about the 2 million that we can't? How can we sleep in our beds in America without fear because of what the Democrats have done? My friend, the fox isn't just not just guarding the hen house anymore. That was already problematic enough. Now the fox has been let into the hen house. Now the threat isn't only from Islamic jihadists. Then we also got the Chinese operatives that have been exploiting our borders when they were open. You've got to ask the question, why have the Democrats been so eager to bring these illegals in and then try to protect them? I mean, they're the ones who are trying to stop ICE from doing their jobs. They're doing everything they can to stop law and order to take its place and for America to try to protect itself. I mean, what is this just to remain in power? Is that just their goal, just to bring in these non-citizens? Because we know that these non-citizens are on electoral rolls and voting in some places. We've covered the evidence of that. And that is, again, we can probably say that without any fear of being compromised or rebuked for it there, because the evidence is clear. We know it's happening. But is that why they are doing it? Just so that they can remain in power? For a large reason it is, I believe, yes. But are there other reasons? I suspect there is. I think there's more. Why are they trying to destroy our nation? Perhaps it's to hide some of their own crimes, to bring a fall to the way our system works. It's like Nero trying to burn down Rome so that he blamed the Christians. He put the blame on someone else there to hide something. Perhaps the Democrats are doing the same. Are all Democrats and the loony left fully aware that they're part of this conspiracy to destroy America? Probably not. Many are just convenient fools. Young people that have no moral foundation. They're living for their own pleasure, and that's it. The Bible speaks of such people. In Titus 3:3, for we ourselves were once foolish, disobedient, led astray, slaves to various passions and pleasures, passing our days in malice and envy, hated by others and hating one another. I mean, it's the foolishness of youth. And many are part of it, and they're going along with it, not even realizing they're part of the destruction of our country. Now, is this broadcast just all about doom and gloom? No, there's a point here. It is a message of hope. There is hope, but we need to act fast. We need to have an action plan. Now, I'm calling on Christians to stop sleepwalking. to wake up, stop sleepwalking through this crisis. Number 2, to resolve to get in the fight for righteousness and for freedom, and to teach our young people the truth, wake them up to what's really happening. President Ronald Reagan warned us decades ago with his words that ring truer today than they ever have. He said this in one of his speeches: freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children through the bloodstream. The only way they can inherit the freedom that we have known is if we fight for it, protect it, defend it, and then hand it to them with the well-taught lessons of how they, in their lifetimes, must do the same. Or one day we will spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it was once like to live in the United States when men were free. I mean, that's powerful. Freedom, folks, is only one generation away from extinction. You can lose it in the next generation if we don't do our bit in our generation. What do we need to do? There's two things that he said we need to do. We need to demonstrate to our children the fight to retain our freedom. They need to see us involved in trying to retain our freedom. We need to lead by example. We need to teach them by example. And number 2, we need to teach them. We need to explain it to them. We need to hand down these well-taught lessons, he said, so that they can carry the torch in their generation. Because I'm here to tell you, people want to take away the freedom of others in their generation. If we want to free America, it's up to us to fight. And I'm calling out for us 50-plussers. I call us the 50-plussers, the group that we think that no one wants to listen to us anymore. Children don't want to hear us. Kids are too busy. They're not interested. We need to find out how to make them interested. We need to show them. We need to apologize for our mistakes, for our failures. We need to learn to get the ear of our youth. Some of you out there, you've got children that need to be guided, and you are probably the only one who's ever going to do it. They're your family. They're your blood. We need to pray for God to strengthen America once again. I challenge you today to get involved. Join the army of righteousness. Let me read to you our mission statement. Fortress of Faith is a Christian organization dedicated to empowering the seasoned saints, focusing on national revival, purity in doctrine, and establishing a resistance to the cultural decline by fostering cultural activism rooted in biblical principles. Our mission is to rally mature Christians by encouraging them to reclaim their influence, to be bold, model members of their local churches and civic life, equipping them to defend conservative values and mentor younger generations. Folks, we need you to get involved. We need leaders in parts of America and Canada that will team with us here at Fortress of Faith to bring our nation back to God. Contact us if you share these values and desires, and let's work together. Our website is fortressoffaith.com, or you can call us 800-616-0082. God bless you, and God bless America.